Hello, hello everyone. I don't know if you can see me live yet. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm just gonna wait. I love how I have the beautiful, like, glowing screen of the internet coming at me. So I'm coming at you from actually this lovely new couch in my living room, which I normally don't stream from. So welcome, welcome. It's a little bit dark here and it's a little bit cold. Hopefully the sound is okay. If you're hearing this live, I have a few things for you. I just wanted to say hi too because if you follow me, I haven't been on social media for a few days, and I kind of wanted to share a little bit about that. And I also had some thoughts. Today is December 30th. If you're watching this sometime in the future, tomorrow is the calendar year for New Year's Eve. Of course, most of you already saw my posts on December 21st, which was the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, as well as a great conjunction, and basically kind of like a reset of a new year. So, if you're new to me, hi, I'm Jenn Plotnikoff, and who am I? I am an oracle. I read the Akashic records. I work with truth. I'm really in service of truth, and I'm also in service of life here on land and ocean. I'm a surfer and a lover of water and earth magic. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, this is sort of a cozy chat. I've got like my little cup of tea, my little wine, my little living room situation going on here. And I just wanted to kind of just pop in for hopefully a quick little video. Hopefully it sounds okay. And I wanted to let you all know just a few thoughts and reminders for kind of how to energetically, physically prepare for the next year. And, if you've been following me for a little while, I'm just going to get this part out of the way because you probably know this is coming. Um, for those of you who've been following for a while, for those friends, family, loved ones, clients, current, past, all the people in my field, you probably know I'm not a huge advocate for New Year's resolutions, and I'm not a huge advocate for getting on this whole bandwagon of like new year, new you, because it was really interesting. Last year I was looking at the forecast I did for 2020, and I kind of went, if you guys remember last year, check it out. I had a rant. I had a rant and I was saying, look, this year is going to be not easy. It's going to be a year of growth and of depth. And we're going to have all our shit exposed, essentially, which is basically what happened, right? So those of us who were in there, felt blindsided by the year 2020. Listen closely. Because we also, 2021 does not have the same energy as 2020. However, and just as a disclaimer too, if you want, I actually did recently a full card pull projections for past, present, and future, including the energies for 2021, more in depth inside my free group. So if you're not already in the Moved From Within community, you can join for free. And I think I did that yesterday. My time sense is a little bit weird, but yeah, I think I did that yesterday. It was the full moon, and I did some predictions and card readings. So if you want to go in deeper depth than this little short piece that I'm going to be talking about now, you can go to Moved by Spirit. Sorry, I think I said Moved From Within, Moved by Spirit. I'm going to write it in the comments if I can. Anyway, I'm gonna try. That's Moved by Spirit. It didn't link it, but that is the free group. So there's a full in-depth card reading inside the group that I did yesterday in that space, so you can watch the replay if you want some more thoughts. I'm not, and for that reason, I'm not going to go super deep into it. But what I wanted to do was just kind of remind all of you that, first of all, pause, okay? This right now is the moment of pause. It is the full moon was yesterday. We're still in full moon energy. We are in pause mode. And I know I'm going to be really like ranty and prescient here, but here's the thing. If we didn't deal with, if we didn't go to the depths of the places that we were needing to go to on all of the things in 2020, we're going to dive deeper in 2021. 2020 was really like a setup for 2021. 2021 is going to be about foundational pieces. Breathe. Space is sexy. Hey, Carrie. So, yeah, you can feel me getting excited, hey? So, this is why, and this is what I did last year too, but I'm going to give it to you again this year. Before you start making all of the predictions and the goal setting and all of that like year-long planning for 2021, take a fucking pause. Please do yourself this favor. Give yourself, like right now, it's really interesting. Like I'm in Mexico. It's usually beautiful and hot and sunny. And it was actually really similar this time last year where it was cold. It started raining. We had this huge cold front come in, and it's like everything kind of slows down. The world, the earth, the magic that is available to us is really asking us to take some time and pause, which is one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen me on here for a little bit. I've been in the ocean almost every single day, and I've been surfing, but I haven't been on social media. I actually deleted my Facebook app and my Instagram app off of my phones. I've been on my Messenger, of course, like communicating, but one of the reasons why was I was really feeling personally this kind of like craving for destruction and craving for like new. And this is kind of the energy of 2021 that we're feeling. Like there's this sense of like hope and change and shifts and transformation. And it's there and it's on the tip of our tongues, but we're not quite there yet. So if you haven't already, take some time today, take some time tomorrow. Even if you have like big plans for New Year's and you're gonna have a big bash or whatever, I know a lot of us are still the whole sheltering in place situation, but whatever it is you're doing, like take some time, whether it's time in the morning. Like for me, I'm not a morning person. I do not people before 11 unless I'm going surfing. But what I'd like to do is that for me is kind of like my sacred time to journal, to pull cards, to kind of go inward and work on my own internal space so that when I show up for the work that I do, when I show up for the world, I have that sense of foundation. So maybe that's something you do in the evening, that maybe that's something you do midday, whatever it is, take the time, really take the time, because here's the thing, we're setting ourselves up right now. We're setting ourselves up for the way things are going to flow. And there is going to be a lot of movement in the next year. If you look deeply into the card reading that I did yesterday afternoon, it's all about water, right? It's all about river, movement, literally the energy and magic of water and flow. And so the caution around that I talked about yesterday was that if we're not really clear in our directionality, which is what we need to do right now, if we don't take the time to pause, to kind of reflect and digest what has happened, what we have integrated, what gifts we received in 2020, and what gifts we're bringing forward. Like if we don't take this kind of transitional Liminal space, you guys will hear me talking about the liminal space all the time, but it's so important. If we don't take the time in the transition, in the present, in our state of being, whatever flow is going to push us forward, we may not like where we end up, right? It's energy, it's just energy, right? And so we can use that energy in a way that's really helping us to come closer to into alignment with that soul path that many of us are on. If you follow me, you're probably in there somewhere. That's definitely something of one of the reasons why I'm here. I know for me, like really being clear on not just my soul path, but like why I'm here, but also how do I express that? How do I express my gifts through the physical world? Because this is the 3D world that we have chosen, this experience we have chosen to be into, to become into, to express through, right? I know my English is a little bit weird, but it's because I'm like half channeling. So sometimes the words don't always make sense, but hopefully this sentiment carries across. So tonight, if you're feeling like getting cozy, maybe doing some reading, maybe doing some journaling, curling up, I'm curling up with my kitties. We're going to be doing a little bit more writing. We actually did some writing earlier today. It's really about um, home and foundations for me personally. It's about dropping down. This full moon as well is really interesting. It was a Cancer full moon, which is kind of the emotional, watery realm. It was also really kind of grounded, slow, contemplative kind of full moon energy. So whether some of the other ones are a little bit more like social, vibrant, there was this sense of kind of like not heaviness, but like weight to it that has it's there to help us kind of ground down, and it's there to help us to take that pause before we come into the next year, which really is that energy that we're feeling. So if you're feeling a little bit antsy, if you're feeling like this sense of anticipation, 2021 has a huge energy of movement quality and anticipatory flow. So if we don't know where we're going, we're just going to take that energy and go wherever, which is fine, right? But I mean, part of the incredible part of our experience here on Earth is 3D has a sense of directionality. We have the great gifts of choice, and we have the great gifts of options and opportunities of how we express our gifts, right? Whether it's through, I talked a little bit about the last few months, some of the different jobs and work that I've done in my life, including environmental education with children, and I worked as a park ranger for 10 years. And so this expression of earth magic has woven its way in all of these different forms. And I've touched different people in different ways through these different avenues, whether it's through creative expression, through dance, through art, through your work. Like there's so many different levels and ways. So right now, before we kind of get this like supercharged influx of flow and energy, let's take a few moments to slow down. So rather than getting into planning mode is actually a really good place to get into. Of course, you guys know, I don't know. If you don't know how I feel about planning mode, planning is kind of a bit of a control mechanism. And there's only so much we can actually plan with our ego selves, right? So I'm asking you to go a little bit deeper. I'm inviting you to go a little bit deeper here. And the invitation with that is one, taking some time to get clear about what were my lessons, like what were the things that I got clear on, that I got deeper in, that I touched elements of mastery in 2020. What were the places that I really excavated deeply that feel that they've come to a sense of completion? So really like honoring that and almost celebrating um, all of those places and gifts. Those are the foundations and setup for our next year ahead. So we could look at, for me personally, it was deepening into my intimacy game. It was really having some pretty profound unravelings and revealings in my own identification and understanding and embodiment of the feminine, of the masculine, of how I relate and am in relationship, not just to other people, but to things, to beings, to my business, to my work, to my life, to my house, um, to money. So all of these, relationship was a really huge theme for me. So when I look at, all of the things that have kind of um, been understood and had, all of the different layers that I explored and the different themes, like distilling it down to from this place now, from where I stand now, what are the themes that are coming forward with me? What wants to go deeper? What are the foundations that I've built, for example, for myself in terms of relationship, with communication, with intimacy, that I now can grow on? Where are those roots and foundations that I've planted personally that I can actually start to build upon, right? So I can actually invite some of that flow. I can invite some of that watery power to move through the energies of relationship, of intimacy, of connection. It's next level, right? So it's not about leaving things behind. It's about building upon what we've already been working through. Hopefully that makes sense. Just thinking and feeling and listening into if there's anything else that wants to be said. Mm. Yeah, take the time to listen. I know I just said that, but take the time to listen. The other note that I want to offer you for planning, I just got my laptop here, so I'm kind of like moving and wiggling. Planning. Plan, plan from your deepest place. Plan from soul alignment. Any plans that you're going to make for 2021 from the ego place are not going to withstand the energies, and they're not going to withstand the test of time. Just like you have to build a house on real concrete and real foundations, our ego self is not concrete. It's mutable, it's changeable, and it's not actually connected to source. We must build upon which is actually stable. What is actually stable is what is energetically in alignment for us and only us. One of the things I wanted to offer, I just was listening to a numerology report for January 2021, and I just thought this was really interesting, and I wanted to offer it because I feel like this is in alignment with building in accordance to soul alignment. This woman was talking about, the numerologist was talking about in her forecast, in terms of an offering. She was talking about how it's important to not be focused and release our attachment to taking on other people's stuff, which means one, trying to help people, aka fix people. So this is stay in your own soul lane. This is do not take on stuff from others. And often what this looks like, particularly for all of us empaths out there, I was going to say all of you empaths, but including me here, when you want to help people, stop. and ask yourself where that intention is coming from. Is that person actually soliciting your help? And when someone solicits your help in balance, like when they truly actually want guidance and support, there's an equal offering and exchange. And I'm not always talking about money, but there is some kind of offering where they're actually willing to energetically have an exchange, which is really different than unsolicited help and advice. So, especially in January, again, building foundations, stay in your lane, and it must be in alignment to you. Other people's soul paths are not your responsibility. Even my clients' soul paths, they're not my responsibility. My responsibility is providing a container for them to connect to their own self, to their own power. I create the garden, but they have to do the own growing. I can't grow the seed for them, right? No more than I can grow, flowers in my garden and force them to bloom, right? This is what we're trying to do when we're trying to, quote unquote, help people. So when you're doing your planning, stay in your own soul lane and plan from the deepest part of your being. Plan from soul level desire. Soul level desire. Anything that is not in soul alignment in 2021 will not stand. It's not going to be built on solidity. So take the time to really, do an honesty check. This is a really good time to kind of, as one of my mentors, Kim Ford, she talks about giving up your own game. Or giving up your game, which is kind of like, the little games that we play with ourselves, which play out in our relationships, but they also play out, of course, naturally in our own relationship to ourselves, right? So make sure you're planning and your projections for your life and your business and your relationships and all the things that you want to call in. Make sure that they're in alignment with your soul, because if they are not, they're not going to stand. Water, and this element of water, is not just an energetic like force field that we're coming through, but it's also kind of a big cleanse. So anything that's actually unnecessary, anything that's not in alignment, anything that's not you, is gonna get washed away. So it's better for us to be clear what those things are so we can actually work with rather than get pummeled by. Right? So this is like, we've seen this in 2020 where people who are working with the energies of 2020 had a really different experience for those who were feeling victimized by the last year that happened, right? Like for me, myself, like I have to say this is one of the most incredible years for growth and internal development. And like, I feel like it's 5 years that happened in one. Like that's how incredible my year was in terms of growth and expansion. It was not always easy, but there was a co-creative element to it. I was working with the energies of this year, which left me in a really different state than, I honestly, I cannot say fuck you 2020. Like I am grateful for this year. It has literally brought me some fucking incredible gifts. So if you're feeling that space of like, fuck you 2020, like look at where were you in 2019 in December? Like, how are you planning 2020? What were you doing? Like, it's the how you were doing that. If you bring that same energy, mindset, mentality, way of being into this year, it's going to kick your ass. So take the time to pause. Now is really the time to look at the growth spaces, and actually those are our foundations that we get to build our future on. Look for what is solid. What is solid is what is in alignment. What is yours to carry, not what you're wanting to carry for others because it fluffs up your ego. And guess what? You're not the only one who does that. Just saying. So, don't be hard on yourself if you are someone who wants to take on the stuff of others because it makes you feel, validated, like you're a good person, like, that it makes you worthy of love and all of that other stuff, right? There's so many things. I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, I think that's everything. I'm going to be a bit quiet on social media probably for the next couple of days until probably the first week of January. You'll see me kind of pop in and out. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me in Messenger. I don't delete my Messenger app, but I sometimes delete Facebook. So if you want to get a hold of me and have any questions about offerings or anything like that, you can Messenger me. If you want to dive a little bit deeper into the card reading, Moved by Spirit is my free community. If you're not already in that group, you can request to join. It's a great space. I do readings in there, and I do some surprise live readings in there. Sometimes I post, you can post your questions, and I gift some clarity readings through Akashic Records. So if you're curious about any of this stuff, it's a great space to be in. And of course, the video and reading that I did yesterday is inside that community. So you can go there and check it out. It's free to join. And it's also free to contribute to and meet and connect with others. So there you go. If I don't come on here, I feel like I will, but if I don't come on here for some reason, I'm wishing you all a wonderful post-full moon vibe, post-full moon afterglow, and wishing you all an incredible new year. I'm excited. I know there's going to be a lot of changes personally for me. I will keep you posted. They're still brewing like a really fucking strong ass cup of tea. I don't know, maybe it's ayahuasca tea. I don't know what's in this cup. There are some surprises for me that I haven't yet met. So I will keep you posted. I'm trying to really stay present in my own process, and I'm really being worked through my own process as well right now. So if you're feeling like you're in it right now, know that you're not in it alone. And know that it's part of the adventure and experience of this incredible journey in life. So, sending you all my love, blessings, happy full moon, happy new year. And yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, reach out, private message is the way to go. You can comment if you have questions about any of the stuff that was said. I invite you to comment. If you're watching the replay, also let me know. All right, loves. Mwah. Night.